All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. And of course, a special warm welcome to all of you tuning into the pod, the iHypnosis life coaching journeys. This is, of course, a pod that has been curated just for you. We make it a point to search out the length and breadth of our wonderful country, and we find truly amazing healers and coaches, people who are already on the journey, people who maybe began around the time that you did, or maybe even before, and they are at a point where they are, wanting to share their story, and you get to hear their story, you get to be inspired by their stories, and just realize that, there's a reason why you're hearing them, and that this is designed to move the needle for you as well, just to remind you that, you're not here by accident, that you're literally meant to be here. And I have a really amazing guest today who will be the epitome of this as you hear her story. I'm sure it'll open up a lot of and unlock a lot of potential within you as well. So with that, let's put our hands together and welcome Deidra. So Deidra, this is your cue. Good to have you on. Really looking forward to hearing more about your story. But before we do that, warm welcome and thank you for being on the iHypnosis Life Coaching Journeys.
It's an honor to be here, Rahul. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm sure I'm really excited to share a lot. So with the sole purpose that I want to reach out to people. So thank you so much for inviting me.
My pleasure.
I'm honored.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm sure there'll be a lot of stories to unpack, but maybe we'll start at the top. So, typically when someone asks that million-dollar question, so what do you do? What's your answer?
So if you ask me what I do, why I do it, I love helping people. That's what I began with in the first place. I learned that from my dad because he used to go all out of his comfort zone during his off days and help people. And that has rubbed on, fortunately. So I take it as a privilege to learn that from my dad. And sometimes people tell me don't help so much, but I just ignore that comment because I don't think that's helping. We need people more like us, you and me and all of us coaches, to help people get better at what they can actually do to reach their potential. So it takes a lot of us to get the entire world on one, in the globe itself, because everyone's scattered with today's technology. I don't think people are actually communicating with each other. So there it is. I'm a communication coach and I love doing what I'm doing. What brings me to do that is because I have seen people always on their phones, devices, and they don't really communicate with each other. And speaking is becoming a lost. People have lost their voices because they don't really communicate with each other. Their world is all on their phone. So with that being said, that's the reason why I have become a communication coach. It's just the journey to connect people. It relates everything. It's to do with relationships. Why we are having broken relationships? Because we don't communicate. Why do we feel upset and low in our office spaces? Because we don't feel it comfortable to communicate, or we don't empower ourselves to communicate. So that's the journey that I'm on, to help people reach their full potential through communication and own their voice.
Nice.
It's as easy as that.
Amazing. So I every time I ask this question, and what better time than to mention it today, like you're our 80th guest.
Wow.
So kudos to all of us.
Yes,
you for being here, and us for
it's a milestone in itself.
for
Congratulations
persevering.
to you.
Thank
and
you
your
so much.
Journey and the people that you have inspired through the 79 and now 80th episode.
And now the 80th, right?
Yes.
So the reason also why I bring that up is, every time I ask this question, I love the way people approach the question because to me it says a lot about where they are. It says a lot about their journey that they've already been on to get to this point where they're able to answer it. And there's a lot of passion that I hear. There's a lot of empathy. There's a lot of, like that question we say, what is it? WDYW, right? Why do you do what you do?
Why?
Right? So, or WYD, right? So why do you do what you do? And I'm curious and I'm really looking forward to hearing you unpack this for us. Like what you're doing today didn't obviously happen overnight. It's
Not
been
at
a
all.
journey to get here.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I'm also looking forward to hearing your story because I know that when people hear your story, they will be reminded that each of us is special, and every story is like building into that anthology of the book of our lives, so that we are able to inspire other people. We are able to, instead of talking at them, we just show up and people say, you know what, if you can do it, so can I. So with that, Deirdre, uh, since you talked about communication and coaching people, take us back in time, if you will. So it's sort of like what
Sure.
we call the hero's journey, right? In a sense. So take us
Yes.
back to what were some of those earliest adventures that you were called to, which eventually led you to where you are today, and what you do, as you do today.
I've never been this way before. I was
Mm.
always a shy
Mm-hmm.
backbencher in school.
Uh-huh.
Many people fail to understand that it's a journey,
Mm.
and I have been on it myself, and that's
Mm.
why I'm looking out for people who are like a decade away from me where I'm right now, so that they can
Mm.
also
Mm.
come on this journey. Just
Mm.
start it. It's
Mm.
only when you start it will you reach the
Mm.
end, right? So
Mm.
going back a decade ago, of course, school days I was very shy. I wouldn't participate. I had a beautiful teacher
Mm.
in school. I was in a girls' school, a convent
Mm.
school, and
Mm.
this teacher, I don't know what she seen in me. There was some kind of a spark probably at that time, which
Mm.
I didn't see, but she saw it. And she encouraged me to speak on stage. She empowered
Nice.
me with, we have this annual day in school, right?
Mm.
So she
Mm.
gave me the lead role, and I was like, why? I felt it like a punishment at that time because I wasn't how I am right now.
Mm.
I have been a very introvert person. So because of my nature, I was wondering why. Why is she I
Mm.
thought of it as a punishment, but that opened a new door. Like a
Mm.
stage performance. I was in eighth grade that time, and a stage
Mm.
performance, and that too, I was a lead role. It was about a drug abuse, and I was the
Wow.
lead role in that. And I was shivering, and stomach was griping, butterflies,
Mm.
and yeah, finally the performance happened. And just
Mm.
before the curtains opened, she trusted me, and I didn't want to let go of her trust. And she told me just one thing:
Mm.
do you believe in yourself? So I
Mm.
said, if you believe in me, I believe in myself.
Mm.
And that was the beginning, like, the page A, the first page of
Right.
my book. Was
Mm.
really long ago, but that's how it started. And in college also, I was not much of a backbencher. I graduated to sitting in the middle.
Mm.
And there was a turning point in my life where my work
Mm.
was taken by another person, and that person took credit for my work,
Mm.
and I was shattered. And that's the day I decided no one is going to take credit for my work.
Mm.
And I left that job, of course, because I was completely depressed. Got another job quite instantly. And
Mm.
she used my biodata, she used my credentials, and
Wow.
it's really sad that that happened, but I don't want anyone to face that again. So I'm just here to empower people
Mm.
uh, to speak for themselves.
Mm.
Everyone does the work, right? We're all trained technically to do our jobs
Correct.
perfectly well, but
Mm.
we need to stand up for what we do.
Mm.
And that's what has brought me to this beautiful awakening. And
Mm.
I'm here to empower the rest of the working professionals, especially, that
Mm.
don't let people walk over you.
Mm.
Stand up for yourself, speak out. that yes, this is the work. If you have done it, what's the shame in speaking about it, right? So
Correct.
just empowering people.
Mm.
And before I could come to this point, I was wondering what should I help people with, and I'm IELTS certified. IELTS is an international English language exam,
Mm.
so I'm IELTS certified. So for the past 5 years, I have been tutoring students to go abroad through the IELTS exam, and have done it really well. But what I have observed is that they are not. So there's this one part. It's a small category of speaking. So there are 4 categories, out of which one is a speaking test, and in that the second part is a cue card round. In that the students have faced a lot of challenges because they have to speak for an entire 2 minutes. It's like a monologue. So they're given a topic. It's like a
Right.
describing situation, and they have to use like words or describing words and stuff, and the time limit is 2 minutes. And you won't believe it, most of the students initially when they come to me, they're not able to speak for even a minute, and they're like, "Man, we're done, 2 minutes are up." I said, "No, 2 minutes when you're actually, just communicating one way, like a monologue, it feels like forever."
Correct.
And that's when I realized, yes, people actually need help to talk. Conversation starters. They don't. People are sitting on unknown people. The best way to learn to communicate is speak to random people. Just go break that barrier, that fear of the unknown. Is when you speak to unknown people because they don't judge you. You'll never really see them again, fortunately or unfortunately. So whenever I travel, I do not use my phone. I just speak to random people. I observe them first, and I just speak to random people. And I think that has brought many smiles to my face as well as theirs most of the times. So yes, that's my backstory. And
Nice.
now I empower, especially working professionals, to speak for their work so that they will be able, no one can use, like walk over them. So that's
Nice.
my, I have
Yeah.
done that wherever I've worked. I have worked in a school also, and there also I used to help the teachers, voice out their opinion.
Right.
I think that's very important.
Mm.
It's not yes boss anymore.
True.
It's I appreciate what you say, but this is what I have to say as well. So sharing your own opinion is very important.
Wow.
So yes,
Beautiful.
I rest my case.
Nice. So you've given us a beautiful, like a snapshot of the last, length of time that you've traveled to get here. Now that you've heard your own story, what do you feel drawn to? Maybe kind of like, nowadays you use this expression to double click on it, meaning that amongst the, the several stories that you reflected on with us in brief, what story do you feel drawn to kind of go a little deeper into? And now with the with the power of hindsight, what's coming up for you?
Actually, I've done this after a very long time, reflecting on what brought me to what I am today.
Correct.
I would really take the time that this teacher of mine, I would like to name her. She's Jatana Miss. That was way back in the, like really way back. I wouldn't want to mention it, but I really appreciate the effort that she took, the belief that she had. It's just a matter of believing in another person. And
Correct.
she helped me believe in myself. And had it not been for her, I think I would have just allowed all the other instances to just happen to me, like the episode I had at work. I would just allow it to happen. Yeah, okay, it's a part of how it's supposed to be. Like many of the people around me say, no, it's okay. This is office politics, and on the name of office politics, to just allow everything to just happen around them, which I don't think should actually be that way. Everyone has their own voice and their own opinion, and it's your choice. It's just a matter of making that choice. So I would owe what I am today to my teacher, my guru, my first so-called awakening spot or point, focal point. She was a focal point in my life, and wherever she is, I always pray that she's always enjoying good health. And we need more teachers
Correct.
like her who trust and who, develop this self-trust, self-belief, this kind of thing. Because self-doubt it just comes. But the self-trust and self-belief in another person, it has changed my life. So yes, I
Right.
acknowledge all this, and I, really thank her for being a part. She was my class teacher actually, and
Nice.
she was not really a favorite among everyone. Biology, she teaches biology, and biology
Okay.
was my favorite subject. So I did fancy her a lot. But what she did beyond teaching the subject was something. Teachers teach and they go away, but
Right.
she really, showed me the mirror, and she trusted me, and
Right.
that helped me trust myself. So I want to offer that safe space to people, where
Right.
I trust people and I help them trust themselves. Self-trust
Nice.
and self-belief is something that I learned from Mr.
True.
Kana. So yes,
Beautiful.
God bless
Beautiful.
her.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if we sort of, wind the clock forward from that one, that first moment in your life, do you recall the moment when you were talking about this incident that happened at office, when you decided, you were like, yeah, that feeling that you had, like you were like, okay,
I can feel
you
it
know,
yet. I can still feel that. Yeah. Yeah.
So walk us through that, like it's happening, and then there's something that clicks because, like you said, most people around you, a lot of people around you said, "Oh, it's okay, it's office politics," and
Absolutely.
who knows, maybe you'd have gone a different path at that point. Like just like your teacher, your class teacher, bio teacher, Mr. Tana, she showed up at the right time, gave you this opportunity, and you stepped up and you took it, right, in spite of everything to this moment where you talked about how you could have gone the route where probably the people who told you had also done it themselves, saying that,
Probably.
oh, it's okay.
Yes.
Could have been a boss, could have been a colleague who sort of like took, was shining in their feathers, so to speak, right? It wasn't so much as borrowed as much as, but in your case, something made you choose differently. Like, walk us through that, like, because this is how, character building happens, right? So what was that like for you?
Well, I am glad that I took that decision. Yes, I did have a choice, as you rightly pointed out. I
Hmm.
had a choice to stay back because at the end of the day, all of us do it for money, right?
Correct.
I had EMIs to pay at that point in time, and
Correct.
it did bother me that yes,
Hmm.
the bill will come. The money will not come because
Hmm.
I will resign, but the bill will
Correct.
come at the end of the month. So yes,
Hmm.
that was at the back of my mind. But I felt that if I didn't do that, somebody
Hmm.
else would do the same thing, and it would be
Hmm.
a recurring thing which I was
Hmm.
not comfortable with.
Hmm.
And at that point in time, I thought I have helped so many people. In
Hmm.
college also, I had a lot of students, I mean, my friends actually, who were from
Hmm.
vernacular background, and they would
Hmm.
sit in class not knowing what's happening because
Hmm.
they have studied in Marathi medium or,
Hmm.
especially Marathi medium. I had three friends, and out of which one was very, very ambitious. So she would be like, Deirdre, I am not able to understand what's happening. So uh, being the person I am, I used to go early. So both
Hmm.
of us used to go 1 hour before college. So college would start at
Right.
8:15. We would be there at 7. We
Wow.
would sit, behind the college campus,
Hmm.
and I would run her through whatever happened,
Hmm.
like a gist of it. Obviously, I was not a
Correct.
lecturer at that point in time. I was
Hmm.
like her,
Hmm.
right? Doing college together. So it
Hmm.
would be a revision for me,
Hmm.
and it would be an inspiration for her because she would not understand most of the things. And
Correct.
eventually,
Hmm.
today she is still my very best friend. She has taken up a marketing job, and she says that I should actually give you some percentage of my salary because if it wasn't for you, probably I would not have been a good
Right.
marketing person. And
Hmm.
so uh, it's just that the decisions we take in
Hmm.
our life,
Hmm.
we need to owe responsibility
Sure.
for our decisions. And at that point, yes, I did have an option of listening to my other colleagues, and that would have been a
Hmm.
comfortable zone for me, right?
Correct.
Okay, I do the work as long as I'm getting paid for the 8 hours that I'm working or the 9 hours that I'm working. It's fine. I could have just let it go, but I chose to no. I
Correct.
will not do that because I was struggling with continuing. In fact, I didn't even serve my notice period because I thought that a no is a no, and I stood my ground. I don't know what got into me. It was just, I think it was not aligning with me what happened. And I spoke to her also about it,
Okay.
which I was amazed that I did it. I would never have otherwise because I was quite a people pleaser. And I used to feel, no, I don't want to hurt anyone. But I actually walked up to her and we used to share the same cabin.
Wow.
And that's why she had most of my documents, the work. We used to share a lot of office space together. So
Correct.
she had access to everything. And unfortunately, she had two options. She could have used my documents or she could have made her own. She chose to use my documents during the appraisal, and of course, she got a
Right.
30% hike. And since I went after her, when I told the boss, I didn't know what she did. So when I told the boss, she's like, "But she did these things. You're just telling me what she did." I'm like, "Oh well, did she? Okay." But this is the truth, and I don't know whether you will believe me, but you can ask me anything about the project. So he called both of us together and he asked both of us questions, which is a wise thing that he did, and I respected the man for that. And obviously, she wasn't able to answer because I was the one who did it, right?
Correct.
So then HR called us and we went through a whole session. And I told HR, I said, see, what happened is not accepted. And I'm sure you would understand why I'm putting in my papers because I don't want somebody else to probably, I have learned a lesson after burning my fingers, but I ensure that I will not do it in the next organization that I join. So, yeah. And I was allowed to just serve 10 days notice period and I left. They tried transferring me to another branch.
Right.
And I was like, once I say a no is a no, because a no is a statement, right?
Right.
So I just stood by it. And I was ready to. My husband wasn't really happy about it. But I think gradually he understood because I used to be a little upset. And once I put in my papers and once I was at home, I was more happy. And I explained to him, don't worry, I'll get another job and things will be fine. And within a week, I got another job, of course. But I learned from that. See,
Correct.
I think there's an option that you have. You either learn from it or you guide others.
Correct.
So I learned from it and now I'm guiding others.
Nice.
So I'm doing both. I've learned from it. So I've been there, done that,
Correct.
picked myself up, trusted myself, got another job, which was, of course, much better than the one I had, which also made a difference because now
Right.
I was in a different space. My
True.
body language was different. My
True.
voice had a different throw, a different confidence. And and now I knew what I had to watch out for.
Right.
So yeah, I did well in the
Beautiful.
second place.
Beautiful. Amazing.
So I think I've tried to sum up everything, but
Yeah.
I
Of course.
hope I have done justice to the situation. I think I
I'm
have.
sure I'm sure other people also who are going through this now,
Yes,
like you
there are
said,
a lot.
your audience is, from what I've understood, your audience is people who have, who are employees, but who are looking at communication and
Yes.
wanting to, be better in their
Yes.
work roles that they play.
Yes.
So I'm sure they will relate to this. Either they themselves have gone through it or they know someone who has gone through it.
Absolutely.
Walk us through between then and now, like what was that next major turning point in your life? Because, like you said, further on, at some point you've also worked with schools. I think you mentioned schools that you've
Yes.
assisted them
Yes. Yes.
in a communication context. But what was that one? So let me ask you like this: how close to or further away from COVID was this? Because typically, 2020 was pretty much a sort of a landmark
Yes.
moment for most people. Either they realized that they meant to become coaches, or maybe they pivoted from what they were doing before. So I'm curious also to know and to hear your story of how such a like an event at a global scale, what the ripples were in your life?
So yes, it just take me back to post-COVID. In fact, pre-COVID, I went to the IELTS course and I
Hmm.
added that feather to my hat as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I thought that yes, I will be able to empower students to go
Hmm.
abroad, and that
Hmm.
will be a turning point for them. It's a
Hmm.
milestone for them. So let's do that.
Hmm.
That happened before COVID, and after
Hmm.
COVID, mm, I didn't have that many students at that point in
Hmm.
time, and I just happened to apply to a school as an English teacher, and
Hmm.
I got it because of my IELTS credibility. I got
Hmm.
through an IG school, and
Hmm.
I was teaching there. I was teaching primary school English.
Hmm.
What I realized is whatever was being poured down on the teachers
Hmm.
was just supposed to be digested,
Hmm.
and work, the admin work,
Hmm.
the accounts work, it's
Hmm.
just being poured on teachers, and I was not ready to accept that.
Hmm.
We were told to use AI, um, as to use AI, I mean, unnecessarily without
Hmm.
using our brain. And
Hmm.
I said, no, I will not. I will use my brain.
Hmm.
I will teach the children how to use their brain and then probably check, what AI has to say about what
Hmm.
they are, like just polish it a bit.
Hmm.
Not stop using your brain, which is God's gift to
Right.
us, right?
Hmm.
And only use AI. In fact, I have observed
Hmm.
nowadays everyone's just using
Hmm.
AI without even thinking for a
Hmm.
moment. And
Hmm.
I think along with our losing our speech or our ability
Hmm.
to speak, we are going to eventually lose our ability to think, which
Hmm.
is a really sad thing. So I
Hmm.
refused to use AI to get my papers, question papers sorted out. And
Hmm.
I just refused. I said, no, I will not. When I
Hmm.
have a brain, I will use it.
Hmm.
So I went against the head of the authority. So
Hmm.
I don't think I was a favorite at that time. So yes, I was kind of a revolutionary, I think, in the school.
Hmm.
But the teachers would come to me and they would share their concerns,
Hmm.
and I, the good Samaritan, would try and speak to the
Hmm.
the coordinator. And now since I have left, the teachers are missing me, and I
Hmm.
think my job there is done because they need to take up and speak for
Hmm.
themselves, because I have
Right.
been doing that for the 2 years that I worked there
Hmm.
as an
Hmm.
English teacher. I have not really worried about what will people think, but
Hmm.
I have tried to stand up for what is right, and I have no shame in that. I am proud of
Hmm.
what I did.
Hmm.
And yes, I did put in my papers because I'm not going to allow AI
Hmm.
take the credit
Hmm.
for and not use my brain. Sorry, that's not me.
Right.
That's
Right.
I have never accepted anything that
Hmm.
I am not aligned with, and
Right.
that's what I stand by. And I
Hmm.
empower my students also to
Right.
align. Whatever they do, it should
Hmm.
align with them, because if you
Hmm.
if you do the work that you're aligned with, you don't work a day.
Right.
It's because you're so in sync with what you're doing. Your body
Hmm.
also is happy and everything
Hmm.
goes well. There's no space for negative thoughts. And
Hmm.
you also speak with yourself. So, what do you speak with yourself, or what are the
Hmm.
conversations you have with yourself when you're alone? Is what matters, and what
Hmm.
comes out when you're with people.
Right.
So, just a small lesson that I want, or a small, what you say, a small nugget, a golden
Hmm.
nugget, that watch what you tell yourself when you're
Hmm.
alone. Those
Right.
conversations are more meaningful than the ones you have with others,
Hmm.
because self trust, self belief, positive affirmations, all these
Right.
are all
Hmm.
the things that you tell yourself when you're alone.
Hmm.
Don't be hard on yourself. This is what I tell everyone. So
Right. Nice.
yes,
Beautiful. So let's
thank you.
sort of let's take this chapter that you're talking about now, right? So you at one point you worked, in the company context, then you move more into the aisles, then from there, post COVID, you worked for a period of time in schools. So if you look at it, and especially now, we are like 5 years. So if you take even 2020 was quite active in terms of coaching as an industry, right? Like there's a surge in the awareness of this webinars and coaches and funnels and
Right.
healing, different modalities. This sort of like started to become more common, not not to the 95%. I'm talking about 5% of us who are today. Like in our world, it feels like everybody's into coaching, right? But if we zoom out for a second, quite often if we check in with our friends and family, most of them are not really aware of coaching as such, right? It's still in its sort of like early phase. But my question is, um, when you now look at the avatar that you've stepped into, right? Tell us a little bit about that, and also, where are you on the journey as far as, let's say, when we talk about funnels, we talk about funnels, we talk about community, like these are sort of like the new age expression of. So it's not just about products. Today we're talking about building a community. We're talking about building a funnel so that you're able to help people deeper and deeper into their journey, right? So give us a sense of where you've reached at this point, Deandra.
So when it comes to traditional coaching methods, I
Hmm.
don't do webinars.
Hmm.
I do a 3-day speaking course.
Hmm.
That is to give them insight of who is their real enemy, and
Hmm.
that narrows down their so-called self-doubt, and
Hmm.
it gives them, an insight into what should be their communication roadmap.
Hmm.
So I help them build their own communication roadmap in the first 3 days
Hmm.
itself, during
Nice.
my 3 days workshop. And
Hmm.
if they want to continue their journey with me, I have a 3 months course, which
Hmm.
is a very, it's an implementation course based
Hmm.
on 12 different aspects of communication,
Hmm.
including one theme will be probably the art of listening, which is actually
Hmm.
underrated.
Hmm.
So listening is a very important skill, and unfortunately, we don't really prioritize it in our
Hmm.
communication. So one of it is that. One of it
Hmm.
is, of course, building your roadmap. There are two elements of speaking that I also take my entire class through,
Hmm.
and this is a group uh, live session.
Hmm.
Happens on Zoom, and of course, I do a one-to-one session also with people, typically CEOs and
Hmm.
high-level professionals who
Nice.
do not want, a group forum.
Hmm. Hmm.
I do one-on-ones with them, and then it's a more personal thing in terms of individuality. So everyone's unique, and probably they want a little more detailed, a detailed roadmap or a
Hmm.
hand-holding kind of a thing where the
Hmm.
CEOs and get. I have worked with a couple of CEOs as well, and business heads.
Hmm.
So uh, they think they are very good communicators, but
Hmm.
sometimes when I speak with them and I
Hmm.
highlight where they need to pay attention to, and I pinpoint exactly where they probably have an issue with because of the
Hmm.
experience that I have
Hmm.
with dealing with my subject. And
Right.
they're amazed. They're like, yes, I do have a listening problem. And then it's like a mirror, right? Mirror, mirror
Hmm.
on the wall, where's the fault? And yes, that and yes, then they, of course, they enroll, and those sessions are as per their convenience.
Hmm.
That's around 4 to 5 sessions a month, and I think
Hmm.
most of them are good to go after a month.
Hmm.
So that's a one-on-one. So these are
Nice.
the three offerings that I have when it
Hmm.
comes to speaking communication.
Nice.
And yes, this is, I'm also getting students, like in colleges, as a college guru.
Hmm.
they have approached me, the principal has approached me, and they're looking at empowering their students. So yes,
Nice.
why not? See, my intention is to help people communicate, whether
Correct.
it's the students or it's working professionals. Of course, we have to deal with students differently, but since I've been a teacher, that is an an additional piece of knowledge or experience that I have. So I am considering it, and yes, I will work with students as well. As of now, my audience is working professionals because of the story that I narrated and the relatability that I have with working professionals and the
Correct.
grind that they go through. So my main focus is on basically adults who are working professionals. But yes, if students, if principals feel that students require this kind of self-empowerment or that trusting, and most of the fears are all imaginary and self-made. So it's just a matter of understanding. Awareness is the first step.
Right.
So once you're aware and you're ready to get out of it, wow, the work is done.
Nice. So, Deidre, walk us through what, like, especially now when you talk about like 5 years post-COVID, coaching, sort of defining what coaching is, systems, marketing. Yes, AI is also more and more becoming a part of it. But I'd love to hear your perspective on this. Like you've seen, in COVID and post-COVID, and now, it's been a 5-year journey. So, what are some of the things that you have noticed? And of course, what's your take on the journey that you sort of where you stepped into the role of a coach, right? Because before it was employee, then it was, sort of teacher, facilitator in that sense. But now in what you're doing, like what's your take on it, and how's the journey been so far?
I love that question. I haven't actually. We wear multiple hats
Correct.
during our our journey. When it comes to, since I handle my own journey myself and I handle my own business myself, I wear different hats at different points in the day. Right now, I am speaking as a coach, and I love what I do as a coach. Yes, probably to get people into my community is a little bit of a task for me, and I'm, I'm not afraid of sharing that because I do a good job when it comes to coaching and helping people get out
Correct.
of the mess that they are in when it comes to
Correct.
communication and all these kind of aspects, the aspects that I'm good at, right? But when it comes to aspects like getting the, what to say, sales or reaching out to people when it comes to different like people misunderstand communication for English, and most of the times I get students, they come to me and say, I need coaching in English. You're an English teacher. I said, yes, but right now, so uh, something that I'd like to share, English is just a medium of communication. You can communicate in any language that you wish to or that you are familiar with. The only point being, English is used in most of the offices when it comes to meetings, and
Correct.
it's the medium of communication.
Correct.
So people often think that, okay, I don't know English, so probably I'm a bad communicator. Well, that's not the truth. You can apply the same concepts to any language.
Correct.
So there are different organizations which may not have English as their only used language. It can be Hindi or any state, any country. It depends on it. So the aspects of communication can be applied to whichever language. So basically, language is just the medium through which you communicate. So this is something I want to specify because people, they get confused. And yes, I do offer a small chunk of it, like a pre-recorded course for only English, because I understand that people do have a problem with,
Correct.
they think that communication is only in English. So yes, I do help my team members, and I do grammar classes and stuff. But that's all a part of the journey. Like if they do make a mistake, never will any of the other students or me laugh at them, because we're all on a learning journey. We're all lifelong learners. I always, put myself into situations where I keep learning and I keep learning and I keep evolving. So I'm sure you also do that, right, Rahul? You also keep learning. You keep,
100%.
introducing new elements. Every day we have to get 1% better than yesterday.
True.
So that's when we get 365%, that much percent or that many degrees better each day. So when it comes to when COVID hit, in fact, my husband lost his job and I was at home that time. I wasn't really working in an organization as such. I used to take IELTS, so I was very much, at home doing it online. And it hit us really badly that time. And it didn't strike me that I can, actually take this up as a business offer. And yes, I used to get a lot of advertisements about of course, Siddharth and a lot of other coaches who are really big right now. But I think there was some element of how, those kind of things, which I finally worked my way through. And just since last year, I have got onto this journey. And yes, you can say in that crawling or, just able to walk kind of a phase. A baby just doesn't come out of a mother's womb and start running. So it is a beautiful journey that I'm enjoying, and I'm learning by doing. So I'm loving what I'm doing. So yes, when it comes to 2020, I was doing a different, thing. I was in my own element at that time. And now I am very fixed on this journey, and I'm actually investing a lot of my time and reading up a lot and, getting help, of course, from different mentors also at this point in time, and collaborating with and looking to collaborate with people so that I can reach out to more people actually. So thank you once again for inviting me on this. So yeah.
So two questions here. You sort of brought up a very important point. When we talk about marketing, especially because for a lot of people, either especially in today's sort of when you look at training or when you look at coaching specifically today, a lot of people have either been doing it for a very long time, but they were doing it without, thinking they would be doing it professionally, right? Or people have, maybe joined a course and they sort of were very inspired and they decided that, okay, you know what, like my mentor, even I want to do this, right? These are typically the two routes that you'll see. So someone has either taken up a course in yoga or breath work or something, and then that inspires them to emulate what they saw their teacher do. Or someone has been practicing, say, yoga or breath work for maybe the last 15, 20 years without really thinking that, oh, there's a career in this.
Possibility,
right?
Yes.
Possibilities are there. But post-COVID, a lot of that realization has sort of come to fruition, so to speak.
Yes.
So while that is happening, I'm curious to know, like, how has your journey been? And, when you talk about mindset, especially with marketing, like you were talking about basically generating leads, these are like the two, if I look at it after having, been in this space for quite a while, like these are the two main areas. One is mindset and two is leads, right? If you're able to crack these two, then everything else is everything else is the journey, right? So what are some of the reflections that you would love to share now, let's say maybe a year into this? And I'm sure it's not just a year, like maybe in a more formal sense, it's been a year, but if you sort of combine all of it together and you say, okay, yeah, mindset and leads, like what are some of your reflections that you'd love to share here?
So these are the two, and of course, sales. These three things were something I used to go in the opposite direction. And I tried to work my way around it, but it's like a circle of life, right? You need one to survive. So I needed all those three to move ahead. And yes, I decided to go organic. And I'm proud to say that today I've completed 92 days of posting on LinkedIn every single day. inspiring
Nice.
people. And earlier I used to not get comments, I used to not get engagement, but now I have engagement. I'm so happy that the comments that I get are they really touch my heart, and I feel
Mm,
so fulfilled. Money in the bank will happen, but
mm,
my basic intention, you know,
mm.
is to help people. It's to
Correct.
help people realize that
Mm,
the doubts that they have is they are the reason, and
mm,
they themselves are the solution.
mm,
So if they just work on themselves, see, you can't tell another person, what you did is wrong, and you have to correct yourself.
mm,
You are not responsible, or you cannot order people around. People don't
mm,
take it well. So
mm,
you have to think, what can you do best? So I decided that, okay, if I am not good at something, instead of running away from it, let me
mm,
embrace it. And then I went into uh, you know taking a mentor who can help me in the areas that I'm not strong. See, everyone, all five
mm,
fingers are not the same, right?
mm,
Every finger has its own work, its own purpose to grab a
mm,
bottle. If one finger says, no, I don't want to do the job, then basically the grip will not be as strong.
mm,
So, with that being said, I realized that, okay, there are certain strengths and certain things that I need to work on. And
mm,
everyone has those strengths and areas of improvement. I don't really call them
mm,
weaknesses, I call them
mm,
areas of improvement. So,
mm,
I started focusing on my areas of improvement, and I'm trying to build a strong base in that.
mm,
And yes, I am getting a couple of leads from Facebook as well as LinkedIn, and
mm,
I'm working on that. In fact, the principal who approached me for for the college and the school communication skills, she came through FB, through Facebook,
mm.
and
Nice.
I really thank God for a
Mm,
a single comment, a single what I have learned through this entire journey.
mm,
I think we need to thank God for be grateful. Basically, being
mm.
grateful has blessed me with more, if not less. So,
Right.
of course, there are good days and there are bad days.
Mm,
So, being human, life takes over. And
mm,
yes, I did have a little, the low patch, the valley in my life where I felt really sick
mm,
and I had to, actually be hospitalized. And
mm,
it was a tough time. I think all of us, life takes over.
mm,
And but that was a time where I reflected, and I decided that yes, if I have been given the second opportunity to live, I think I should make it count.
mm,
And that was when I started working on myself, and that's what made me who I am and what I am today.
mm.
So I look at life, the brighter side of life. Yes, there will be dark sides, but it's
Sure.
just a matter of switching on that
Mm,
switch and letting the light shine on you.
mm,
So, with that being said, yes, lead generation is happening right now organically, and eventually I
mm.
will go into paid ads. So,
Right.
yes, I'm
Beautiful.
I'm going into this journey of
Mm,
putting one post every day. So now I'm going to go into putting videos every day. So
mm.
yes, I'm working
Nice.
on myself, and
Nice.
life is beautiful. That's all I can say.
Mm. Beautiful. So, as we get to the next segment, this is a very, very powerful segment, which, it every time I see like a really deep response from guests. And so this is, of course, what we call the journey of mentors. So, do share with us. You mentioned one of your mentors, in the early days. Exactly. Right. But as you look at it now, on this journey of, stepping into being the coach and, building your business, and it doesn't have to be only this phase, it could be even earlier. But if you look at in your life, if I was to say, Deirdre, like, who are these mentors who showed up at just the right time, and what was that like? So this is like an opportunity to express your gratitude like you did
Grateful.
earlier
Yes.
today
Yes.
uh,
Absolutely.
with your bio teacher, but your class teacher. So share with us, like, what was happening at that time, and who were these people, and do mention them by name, because one other reason why we do this pod is Sometimes when people hear you mention somebody, it can help validate their own process, um, in a positive way. That if they were looking for that, maybe this is also sort of one more reason why they're like, you know what, yeah, I was anyway considering it, and now having heard Deirdre mention so and so, I'm like, you know what, let me explore, and maybe this could make that difference that I'm looking for in my life. So,
Well, there are a couple of people that have made me who I am.
mm,
I'll try to keep it as short as possible.
sure.
So, the first person, yes, of course, my parents, for helping me grow and trusting me.
Mm,
Of course, parents and God, and my teacher Jatana
mm,
Miss, who is the most loved, and
mm,
I get a little emotional when I think about her, because if it wasn't for her, I think I would
mm,
not be on this journey. And she trusted me with something that I
mm,
didn't trust myself on, and she believed in me.
mm,
And so, yes, a big shout out to Jatana Miss. And wherever
mm.
you are, if you do hear this, please hug yourself. And if you were in front of me, I would definitely love to hug you myself. And may
Mm,
God bless you with good health. And once I went to college, there was this teacher. I did my food science actually in during
mm,
graduation. So I'm a nutrition student by uh, you know by my studies and my
mm,
academics. Uh,
mm,
so there were these teachers who actually challenged us a lot,
mm,
and they helped us go out of our comfort zone.
mm,
So I think I owe a lot to most of them. Uh, there was one teacher who lived in Bhayandar itself, and
mm,
I mean, I live in Mira Road. She lives in Bhayandar, and her name is Sunita Miss, and she is she told me, that you take this path. Why are you taking this path? And I was so fascinated with the path that I had taken. She told me to take
mm,
textiles, and I took nutrition. She
mm.
was like, you're really good at textiles. Why don't you take textiles? But I said no. My friends are all in nutrition. So that's the age, right? When you're a
Correct,
teenager and you
correct.
feel that, oh, your friends, you can't let go of your friends. That's what you
Mm,
think at that point in time. So, yeah. So I think that's one learning that I had from her. Unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to her at that time, but I love her. And after college, the other people who I really respect and who really taught me to face challenges as they come is a dear
mm,
friend of mine by the name of Dilip Singh. He helped me come out of the sickness and the depression that I was going through during the turning point during COVID. Actually, I
mm,
didn't get COVID, but I was going through a little rough patch when it comes to hospitalization and stuff like that. So I was hospitalized for around 15 days, and the doctors couldn't figure out what's wrong with me.
mm,
So I went through a series. I was an official guinea pig for them. So I went through a series of tests, and the doctor was wondering how I'm alive.
mm.
So I'm
Wow.
like, well, I'm in front of you, flesh and blood.
Mm, mm,
So they eventually found out the problem, and I went through a lot of depression because of that. And Dilip Singh, I don't know whether I should call him a mentor, but he was um, a person who stood by me, and
mm,
I think um, he mentored me again
mm,
into, yes, you have got a new life. The
mm,
doctors were wondering how you're alive, but you are,
mm,
and make it count.
mm.
It's just the three, four
Right.
words that he said. Make it
Mm,
count. Literally three words. And then after I recovered, I actually went back to the IELTS and all that stuff because I had taken a
mm.
break during that time. It was
Right.
9 to 10 months were difficult. So getting back to taking IELTS again was also a tough one because I was I had disappeared from that
Mm,
forum. So getting back was difficult. That's when I decided that I should, take up teaching and stuff. So I did a teacher's course, and then I worked as a teacher. And there were a couple of people who would support me. There are my friends who were there who always told me that, you know what, I used to ask them, am I stepping out of line, because the authorities would not appreciate me being so bold. And they were like, no, this is who you are. Don't ever change yourself. We need few more people like you. And I don't know again whether I should call them my mentors, but yes, they did help me to sort of validate myself.
Right.
I didn't need validation, but it just helped me, that yes, you're doing the right thing, that
Right.
encouragement. So these are the few people. And of course, when I decided to actually take up online coaching, when the student is ready, the guru appears. So that's when I seen a class offered by Siddharth Rajshekhar, and I aligned with him immediately. I paid for his silver membership. And then when just last year I became his diamond member, and I somehow, he is more than he's such a beautiful human being. He's so approachable and down to earth, and I have learned how to be grounded from him and how to keep evolving. Like he keeps every 3 months, every hackathon, he keeps improving. So this is something I need to work on. So I am in the process of, trying to get better with each and every course that I offer. I try to polish, add value, because at the end of the day, I want to offer the best value. Like if they've paid me X amount of money, I want
Correct.
to offer them 2x, 3x, 4x value. That's when I feel satisfied.
Correct.
They will feel satisfied, but I have to first feel satisfied. So this is to all my mentors and all the people who have helped me on my journey, the path, and of course to you as well, since we have crossed paths in a very beautiful way.
Yeah.
To a beautiful collaboration if it happens in the future, and to all your team members and your community. And yes, you did mention about community. So yes, I would love to build a community. I'm in that process. I have a WhatsApp group where I nurture them and I take care of them,
Right.
and I solve their, questions and their doubts. So yes, building a community is something I'm looking forward to, because every individual is unique. So even though there are probably hundreds of communication coaches out there, God has chosen us to have our unique flavor, and the flavor that I have, I think the other communication coaches may not have the same. Of course, I'm not saying that I'm the best, but I have my own path to walk, and if those who align with my path, welcome aboard.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
oh yes,
That's
and I
beautiful.
forgot to mention, I also worked in Jet Airways. I don't know how many of you know Jet Airways. So yes, I have worked there for 8 years of my life, and that's where I met the love of my life. And
Okay.
yes, we both were a
Beautiful.
part of Jet Airways. He's still in the aviation industry. In fact, he was there when Jet Airways shut down before COVID, and that was a real rough patch for us. 9 months he was jobless, and I was also doing online classes. So yeah,
Right.
that was a real rough patch.
Wow.
So I especially want to mention the in-flight department that I was with, the training in-flight training department. Special shout out to Sandra Flees, who helped me and she pushed me, and she used to tell me that yes, you can do more. Why aren't you doing more? And I used to say, oh, she's just abusing my work culture. But no, she did push me to do more, and she had empowered me with, you know, the batch that came when I joined. She told me, go and give them a briefing. I'm like, what? So she said, yeah, I trust you. You'll do a good job. Go and give them a briefing. Tell them about the company's policies. So I walked in. I took it up as a challenge, because I am very experimental in nature and I love challenges. So I took it up and I walked into the room, and they're all staring at me like, who is this alien? So I walked in, and that batch, when I left Jet Airways, they were all over the place because I spent a lot of time. They got in touch with each other. They came to know I had resigned. So when I was on this 1 month probation, I mean, 1 month notice period, uh, they came together and they sent me a beautiful pearl necklace.
Wow.
And yes, that was batch 234 in Jet Airways, the training batch. And I love them so much. See, for me, it was my first batch that I actually did a briefing with.
Right.
But for them, I think I must have done something right. And I mean, it really touched my heart when I received that authentic pearl set through Santa Fe's from them. I am really grateful to have impacted a few lives during the journey, even though when I was not a coach, I wasn't a coach then. But
Correct.
I think impacting lives is something that
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
forgot to mention
No,
Santa
not.
Fees and Zenos
Yeah.
Sarkar. He was my boss. So
Mm.
yes, he was also a really loving person whom
Mm.
I learned a lot from. I learned a lot of grooming. I learned a lot of etiquettes, a lot of
Mm.
discipline, a lot of how do you present a particular point.
Mm.
He gave me that polished finness which was lacking at that point in time. And
Mm.
how do you answer a phone call, telephone etiquettes, and
Mm.
body language. I learned a lot from there. So
Mm.
it's the cumulative energy that and the
Right.
experience of all these things that I put forth for the
Mm.
students. So yes,
Amazing.
I'm sorry I forgot to mention them, but I did remember. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to appreciate their.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't again call them as mentors, but yes, they did impact my life and they made
Mm.
me the whole that I am today.
Correct. Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah. Students also can unknowingly,
yes, yes. There's
trigger
no shame
that.
in learning from
Yeah.
people who are half your age or
Mm.
younger than you, or even my
Mm.
kids. They teach me a lot. They teach me
Mm.
technology,
Mm.
something that I am. Oh yes, mommy, you can edit the video. So my younger son, I have two sons, and my younger son wants to become a photographer. He does my
Mm.
videos, my editing.
Nice.
So I have an in-house.
Nice.
So he feels, I told him, I said, if you do this many videos, I'll pay you this much. So he's very excited. So he's doing
Right.
commerce and he's very
Nice.
excited. So he's a proper
Mm.
businessman and I'm sure I have to
Mm.
learn a lot from him. So there's no shame in learning from your kids. I
Yeah.
love learning from them.
Mm.
So yes, I'm a proud mother. When I
Mm.
learn from my kids, it gives me immense joy. So
Right.
yes, they are also
Beautiful.
teaching me. So they are also my mentors in one way or the
Yeah.
other.
True. True.
So
Thank you so
yes.
much for sharing your stories. And, I see quite often towards the end, it's like the process has kind of brought out those even more powerful stories, and not just your stories, but these are designed to remind other people, people in their lives, people who have created an impact, people who have inspired them, and to remember them, right? So thank you for sharing with such an open heart. And
Thank you so much for tickling that area in my life where I had not, that. See, we think of triggers as negative
mm,
forces, but this is a
mm.
beautiful trigger to have because I'm sure I'll have a beautiful day today just thinking and thanking God for all the people that He has, the good and the bad. See,
Mm,
I have nothing against the people who have harmed me because I have
mm,
evolved from that. And
mm,
probably if I'd have had, see, I always look at life like this. Life is not a bed of roses.
mm,
Uh, to reach the rose, you have to climb up that stalk
mhm,
which has thorns and you need to bleed along the way to reach that
mm,
rose because the rose is your goal in life
mm,
and
mm,
those thorns are the obstacles.
mm,
So you need to go walk that path to
mm,
reach your goal. So if
mm.
you say no, 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 I don't want those thorns, then the
Mm.
goal is far from reachable.
Right.
So you have to maneuver your way
Mm,
or your own path to your final goal. And that's when you feel so beautiful. You feel
mm.
so aligned, and that's worth all the effort.
Yeah.
So, yes, I know getting leads, doing the hard work, it looks beautiful. It is difficult. It's not easy,
Mm,
but it's not impossible.
mm.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Wow. That's such a beautiful note to reflect on, and also to,
Yes.
thank you, Deirdre, for spending your time here today and telling us more about your life and reflections. And I'm sure, for people who have heard your story now, they will have a even deeper connection with you. And that's one of the reasons why this pod exists, right? So the intent is that as people look out for you, this becomes a resource for them to connect with you, to build that, today we call it parasocial relationship. So it's like they get to know you even before you get to know them, right? We've all done it. It's like when we find somebody that we are inspired by, say, online, then we try to consume as much as we can of that person. And, we sort of like build a bond with them. So this is one of the reasons why this pod exists, so that people get to know you. And of course, I've been very fortunate to have been in this space now for more than 2 decades. And I know especially now, more than ever before, the time has come for more people to seek, to seek help, to reach out, and therefore, when people like us do already exist, through our own journeys, we've reached this point. The intent is that when people, get to see these interviews, they get to hear about you, they are also inspired. Of course, coaches, healers will be inspired further because they're like, okay, if Deirdre's had this experience, then I'm okay, right? Like everything will work out one way or the
Yes.
other, but eventually it will, right? So thank you once again, Deirdre, for taking
Thank
your
you so
time
much, Rahul.
and taking the time. And you're most welcome. And of course,
I enjoyed the journey. I mean, this 1 hour, I didn't even realize it's almost an hour, I guess. And it's been a beautiful, actually, I went inward, and
mm,
I think it's what I teach. When you open the door,
mm,
you create two images. One is a
mm,
visual image, and one is a
mm,
vocal image. This is what I
mm,
walk my students through. And
mm,
today I feel you are helping me to pass on my image,
mm.
vocal and visual, before I even enter people's lives.
That's
So
right.
thank you so much that through this
Most welcome.
podcast,
Yeah.
you are giving me a lot of visibility. And yes, I speak from my heart, and I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So this is all through my experience and all what I have,
mm,
not really spoken of about much. But thank you for having these beautiful, positive triggers, and
mm.
your questions were mind blowing, I must say. And
Thank you.
appreciate your questions. I think it's a win. I loved the interview. Thank you for taking me
Thank
through
you.
this, this inward journey.
Mm.
And like I said, I will definitely have a blissful day today. I feel so blessed and honored to be on such a platform, and more power
Thank
to
you.
you
Thank you. Thank you for saying that,
and
Deirdre.
to your entire community as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
hope we
Thank
cross
you.
paths again for sure.
Most definitely will. And just a quick reminder, of course, to those of you who've
Yes.
been listening to Deirdre and watching her walk you through her life story. This is, of course, your opportunity to connect with her. The links are included, below this video. So definitely follow her on all her handles. And I'm sure in the days to come, you'll get to know more about. And she also talked about different programs that she has. So do reach out to her for all of that and newer programs in the future as well,
Yes.
right? And
Positive.
and of course,
Yes.
to each of you that's been out there, listening, um, these pods are created for you. These pods are created in service of you so that you can, especially if you're a healer and a coach, this is a reminder to you that you are special. Your journey is, of course, your journey, but it's a journey. So as long as you keep showing up, you will eventually get to where you were meant to, right? So having said all of that, of course, as always, remember to live your purpose. God bless, and of course, we'll be back with more videos, more interviews in the coming days. So Deirdre, if you can just hang back for a second, I'll end our the live
Sure.
and
Speak.
end the
And
stream
y'all are
there.
awesome
Yes.
and keep doing this beautiful work. Bye from my end. Take
Nice.
care.
Awesome. Okay, so that ends our stream. And with that, take care till the next one.